Right, we're looking at rounding to nearest unit, 10, 100, etc, etc. So I've drawn this table up here to help me. I'm going to write this number in here. So 26.98. Now it says to round to the nearest unit. Now unit, 1, they mean the same thing. So what I do is I draw a line here, and it's this number that's going to round here. Okay, and whether this rounds up or stays the same, because staying the same is the same. Some people call it rounding down, but I like to call it staying the same. Alright, depends on what this number is doing here. Okay, now there is a little rule. If this number that I've starred here is 0, 1, 2, 3 or 4, it stays the same or rounds down. If it's 5 or more, then it rounds up. So because this is 5 or more, alright, it's 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9, okay, that's going to be 27. And if you think about it, if I did a number line, okay, just a very basic number line, I've got 26, because this number's between 26 and 27. 26.98 is right up here, isn't it? Okay, so it's much closer to 27 than it is to 26. Okay, so I'm just going to rub that out because I'm going to use this table again. Okay, so next one, we got 373. So 373, and it wants us to round to the nearest 10. So that means I'm rounding this number here. Okay, so this here, this 7's the one that's going to round, or whether stay the same or round up, and it's going to be this one here that determines that. Okay, now that's less than 5, alright, it's 0 to 4, isn't it? So that means it stays the same. So there's 370. Again, if I do a number line, alright, to the nearest 10, the 10's either side of that is 370. And 380, and 373 is going to be around there, just under halfway, isn't it? Okay, so therefore it's closer to 370. Now I'll just rub that out for last time. Now a challenging sort of one is when you get something like this. So I've got 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 8. Now I'm actually going to straight away, it says around us to nearest 100. So the hundreds either side of that are, now if you think about it carefully, it's going to be 9,900 and 10,000. Okay, so that's supposed to be a comma. There we go. So where is 900? Well, it's right up here, right? And this is why I like the number line method in a sense as well. But I'm going to check it using the table as well. So I think my answer is going to be 10,000. Okay, now that's in the 100 times table, so even though it's 1,000, and even though it's 10,000 as well, okay, it's in the 100 times table. Now this is where I would have drawn my line. Okay, so this is the number we're going to round, and it's going to be determined by this. Now that 9 means that this has got to round up, so that 9 rounds up to a 10, so that's a 0 carry a 1, and the 1 moves up to here. It rounds that 9 up to a 10. And that means that one's got to carry on up there. So actually, right, and I've got to fill up to the decimal point with zeros as well, don't forget that, because the whole point of rounding is to get an easier number that's close to what you started with. Right, so the number line thing I think works quite nicely, but the table also works well as well.